How's it going, guys? This is Matt with Equity Management Realty. I'm here with Roxanne Richards this morning, and we're going to be talking about different ways to hold title when purchasing property in Massachusetts. So I'm going to start off by having Roxanne introduce herself, and then we'll get right into the topic.
Good morning, everybody. It's Roxanne Richards here from Vieira DiGianfilippo. We are a real estate-related legal firm that has offices in Easton, Mansfield, and Providence, Rhode Island. Today, we're going to talk with Matt about when you have two or more people that own a property, the best way for you to hold title to that property. And why is that important? It's important if something happens to one of the parties that owns the property as to who ends up owning it and whether a court or not gets to decide on that. The first way that people can hold property is something called tenants in common. And that essentially means that if something happens to one of the parties, the remaining party will own that property with the deceased person's heirs, not automatic ownership. Sometimes that's used for blended family situations or for tax-related planning. The second way people hold property, Matt, is in joint tenancy. And that means that if something were to happen to one of the owners, the remaining party will own that property in its entirety without having to do little or any paperwork with the registry of deeds. So if you have your standard, typical family, 2 kids, 2 dogs, and a picket fence, and something unfortunately happens to husband, wife automatically owns that property and she doesn't have to worry about it.
I know, and we have talked about stuff like this, in passing, about when me and my wife now had purchased the property. Before we had actually purchased it, we weren't married, and I had spoken to Roxanne about it, what do we do in terms of the deed, after we purchased the house, and then, we did get married, and she kind of went over with me, we should, change the deed to kind of reflect the change in marital status.
And so you definitely, if you do buy a property before you get married and then you subsequently get married, want to change that from joint tenants with right of survivorship to tenants by the entirety.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. I want you guys to leave us some comments below. We're going to try and make this a regular thing with Roxanne, be able to sit down, hopefully monthly with her and kind of go over any questions that you guys might have as far as, attorney stuff that would come up in a transaction for purchasing real estate. So I'd like to hear what you guys think. Let us know what you thought about the video. Leave us some comments below and just say, if there's any topics that are on your mind, when purchasing property, anything you're unfamiliar with, we really want to hear about it, and hopefully we can bring it up in the next video. So I'm glad that you guys tuned in, and we'll see you next time.